Congratulations! Chapter 1. What does it mean? At 7:53 a.m., Sunday, December 7, 1941, the Japanese bombed the United States naval base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. "Last one to the top is a dirty rat," Yushi yells. Screeching and laughing, I race toward the red-carpeted stairs at the other end of the reception hall. I weave between the couples dancing to the music of Sammy Kaye's Sunday Serenade. On Mr. Otani's radio, Yushi and a pack of yelling boys run after me. "Hey, kid, watch out!" a young man says as I jostle his elbow. But he's laughing. Everyone is in a happy mood. "Sorry," I shoot back over my shoulder as I swerve around the buffet table. It is loaded with platters of sushi, shrimp tempura, pickled daikon, and cabbage, as well as Hakujin food. I pass a platter of mochi, the sweet rice balls that are my favorite. I scoop one up as I run and jam it in my mouth. Red banners with good luck wishes written in gold ink hang from the ceiling. I shove through them and race to the end of the table where a large crystal punch bowl sits surrounded by cups filled with red fruit punch. As I round the table, I bump it. A cup wobbles, tilts and falls with a crash, splattering the front of my white dress shirt with punch. Uh-oh. I glance over at my mother, who is standing by the table with the wedding cake. She's talking to the bride and groom. I hope she hasn't seen me. She has. Just as I reach the stairs, her hand clamps down on my shoulder like an iron vice. My mother is small, but she is very fast and very strong, especially when she's angry with me. "Shigeru Yabu, look at what you have done to your shirt," she hisses. "This is a wedding, not a racetrack. You shame me in front of my friends." Yushi and the other boys pound up the stairs. "I could have beaten them all to the top if Mom hadn't stopped me." I sigh. No one else's mother is scolding. They're all dancing, sitting at tables eating wedding cake, or standing in groups, talking and laughing. Why do I have to have a mother who cares so much about manners and staying clean, I wonder? Why do I have to have such a rude boy? She rolls her eyes toward the ceiling and sighs. My mother hates noise almost as much as she hates mess and dirt. She hates rudeness even more. But sometimes it's hard to figure out what she considers rudeness. "I wasn't trying to be rude, Mom," I try to explain. "I was just trying to have some fun. It's boring sitting around." "Well, your fun is over," she interrupts grimly. She points to a small, hard chair by the front door of the reception hall. "You sit there and wait until it is time to go." "Everyone will laugh at me," I protest. "Maybe then you will learn to behave like a polite Japanese boy instead of a street hooligan," she says. My stepfather, Joe, comes over. "Hana, it's just a stain. We can get it out at the cleaners. He didn't mean to mess up. Did you, Shig?" Boys will be boys, and weddings are dull. He nods at me. I feel hopeful. Joe can sometimes sweet-talk my mother out of being too mad at me for long. I have never known my real father, and to me, Joe is my real dad. But today, even he can't soften my mother. She is determined to teach me a lesson. I figure I have already spent about a year out of my entire 10 years sitting on hard chairs learning her lessons. With a sigh, I trudge over to the chair and flop down. "Sit up straight," my mom snaps. I slump in the chair and kick one foot against the wood railing by the door. The white shirt Mom had starched until it could stand up by itself scratches and itches around my neck. The tie she insisted I wear seems to be doing its best to strangle me. I hate being cooped inside when I want to be at home in my backyard with my dog Skippy, perfecting my aim with my new slingshot. The only good thing about the wedding is the food, especially the punch and cake. I have eaten 3 slices already. I stare out through the dusty window of the reception hall and wish we would leave soon. Who wants to spend a whole day in a stuffy old hall that smells of wax and dust and about 100 years worth of food smells? Yushi sees me. With a whoop, he charges down the stairs and runs toward me. The other boys follow, screeching like Indians on a warpath. Shig's in trouble with his mama, Yushi chants, dancing in front of me. Don't say that again or else, I yell, jumping up and grabbing him by the shirt. Or else what? Yushi sticks his tongue out. But before I can punch him, we hear a loud shout across the room. Quiet! Quiet! Mr. Otani is yelling. He is bent over his radio, fiddling with the knobs. Suddenly, instead of music, an announcer's voice crackles across the room. It sounds spiky with fear and alarm. A special announcement. At 7:53 this morning, the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. Yushi and I stop wrestling and look at each other. What does that mean? No one in the room moves. Men and women stand frozen in position. Forks and cups, half lifted to their lips, as if they have been caught in a game of swing the statue. It would look funny, except for the silence. It is as if the voice on the radio has stolen our voices away. It is so quiet, I can hear a fly throwing itself frantically at the window. A trolley rattles by outside. From somewhere down the street, I hear the faint shouts of a paper boy hawking newspapers. The silence seems to grow and swell, filling the room, making my ears hum. Then suddenly, sound rushes back into the hall like a wave crashing on the beach. The grown-ups begin talking all at once. Some are shouting. Others are crying. Mr. Otani pounds his radio and shouts at it, as if that will make the announcer's voice more clear. A group of older women cluster around Mrs. Moto, who is sobbing. Her son and daughter-in-law live in Hawaii. Suddenly, I'm uneasy. I want to be near my mother and father. I look around for them and see them standing close together, staring at each other. Mom's hand is pressed to her mouth, and she is silently shaking her head. No, no. I edge off the chair and creep over, half expecting her to fuss, but she has forgotten about me. Her eyes are large with something I have never seen in them before. Fear.